Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video of World of Warships, and guys, we do have a lot of information by Wargaming in these recent development blog coming up along with the Dockyard, which will going to be about the tier 9 French battleship Roussillon and quite a lot of things which you should be very much interested in, because we have additional information regarding some of the ships like the steel wheel event ships that I have already talked in my older videos, and here it is. We do have further information and all the rewards that you can possibly expect in this whole thing. So I will try to explain and give you my personal thoughts and opinions. Now you can see here we have the Roussillon Dockyard, and then we have this very important information that is about the steel ships prices, like the Valparaiso that I have talked about all the time in my videos, that it is an insanely broken ship. Finally, we are going to get this ship, but even more expensive compared to the previous available steel wheel event ships. Like for example, we have the Chikuma 2 last year that is costing you 26,000 steel. We have the massive increase in price. I think this is around more than 10%. So you're getting 30,000 steel for Valparaiso. The I-56, which is pretty ridiculous, one-shot submarine as of right now in game, costing you 35,000 steel. Le Havre, secondary based French cruiser that has tier 9, I don't know, tier 9 tech tree hull, I don't remember the name of that, but yeah, that's having the secondary focused cruiser, heavy cruiser that have battleship levels of armor, 25,000 steel. And then we have the very important Hawaii, the American cruiser, the Bremen, the German cruiser, and the Aki, the hybrid Yamato battleship. They will be costing you 39,000 steel. So massive increase in price. We used to have 36,000 steel price, right? I remember when they have given us the Ruggiero de Loria in the steel wheel event, I think 2 years ago, and then in the last year they have given us 36,000 steel, costing G. Hoffman and the other ships like for example the Prince van Oranje, they costing you 36,000 steel, and well, they have increased the price. That's the unfortunate part, that we have to spend a lot of money. Oh, I'm not gonna say a lot of money, but yeah, a lot of resources to get these ships. But the good part is, and at least what they have done is that they have still given us a 15% coupon. So in this video, I will try to explain everything that you need to know about what is coming. There is also, by the way, a tier 9 clan battles. Now that is very interesting, because in this clan battle, you can actually bring Valparaiso, which is ridiculous. A Valparaiso in a clan battle? Well, that smells something pay to win. In clan battle, that is putting a ship like this in competitive. I'm really not happy about that, but we have a lot of information. We have also the information about the Santa crates, and I have given you some overview of this whole thing, the main parts. I will try to explain and give you my thoughts and opinions, so watch out for this full video if you want to. I have given the chapters in the link description, so you can go and check out one by one what I have thoughts about this whole thing. So be sure to hit a like, guys, if you are new, subscribe, and let's get back to all the important topics that I am about to cover. Okay guys, so first of all, we have the festive event pass. Okay, so just like the last year, the event pass will have two standalone 20 level chapters. If you don't know, last year in 2024 we also get this sort of event pass where we have like I think two chapters. Okay, so we are going to see the same stuff again. If you have played in 2024 December, you will be pretty much familiar to all of that stuff. Okay, and you can see here, well, there is something that is interesting kind of, that we are going to get two new tier 7 cruisers. The first is going to be the Pan-Asian Alonso, and well, this camouflage looks to be pretty interesting, not gonna lie. I don't know why it's grainy in one way or the other. It's not like exactly quality picture, but what I can see from the camo that it looks pretty nice, striking. But well, it is the tier 7 Alonso that you can get in one of the chapters if you pay for I would say for the premium pass. And then the second chapter consists of the tier 7 Nürnberg 44, so a German tier 6 tech tree light cruiser that you actually find on a tech tree at tier 6, and they basically re-spec it at tier 7 with some gimmicks which I will try to explain. So you can see here we are going to get two ships. You can see here Nürnberg 44 and Alonso with some rewards that I will try to explain. something that I'm okay. At least this is a new content, but I would say kit bash of the Nuremberg at tier 6, and I think the Lanzo, it also have a kit bash of the, I think, the Russian cruiser. So yeah, copy paste still reigns supreme, but at least something that they are giving as sort of new. And you have to spend money regardless in a paid premium pass. That will also gonna cost you 3,500 doubloons, which you can see here, 3,500 doubloons per even pass chapter. So we do have 2 chapters, and then they have explained the Nuremberg 44 is an AP focused cruiser with having smokes. Okay, so you can see here, get great ballistics, strong penetration, improved penetration angles. Wait, what? Why they're just giving every single cruiser improved penetration angles? I have no idea. But what they really want is to make that ship very striking and interesting enough so that we can at least think of buying it, at least in the paid premium pass. That's I can definitely think of. Obviously, the German typical improved HE penetration. So this is something that you get on a Nuremberg 44. You can basically read it on this development blog that what this ship is about. And then we have another ship that is the Lanzo. So that is a Soviet project. That's what I basically said. And then it also have impressive ballistics and strong penetration. But by the way, it does not have the smoke. So at least you have the smoke to disengage. Short burst smokes, by the way, short burst smokes that you find on daring line. So very flexible. And then we have the Lanzo. I don't know what sort of pure gimmicks. I'm sure the guns will be really good, but it does not have smoke. So at tier 7 it will be like it will take damage, obviously. So yeah, you got to be careful. But here's the thing, 3,500 doubloons per even pass chapter. Now, is it worth it to spend 3,500 doubloons per ship? Because again, you will be getting ship in the paid pass, right? 3,500 each. So do you think is it worth it? I don't know. That is totally up to you. I don't recommend you that, but at least you are farming 32,000 doubloons from the Grand Voyage even. So just think of it. Do you want to get the ship for free? At least you get it in that way, but that is totally up to you. I won't recommend you. I just don't like spending money like this, but this is up to you if you have enough money or the wallet that can tank that much. But now you can see here we have the stages. Again, typical, we are going to see the points total. That is what it is. And then for extra level rewards, you will receive 2 Santa gift containers. So again, pretty much the typical like the last year. I think they might have done some tuning or changes that we might see in these chapters or in these even passes. But you can see here we have the chapter 1, distant shores. Okay. By the way, they are also coming up with the commanders, which I have explained in my last development blog video, which now UrAvgWarGaming has decided to come up with the unique commanders that are basically unassigned. They are not attached to any nation, and you can attach them after you acquire that captain. You can attach them to any nation, which is kind of very unique, right? So if you don't have, for example, like the Commonwealth good, I would say, commander, 10-pointer, you can basically assign that unassigned commander to the Commonwealth, line. And that's how you can basically set the nation for the commander. Okay, and then we have the chapter distant shores. Okay, you can see here we have the rewards. Okay, so let me just go through this. Chapter 1, first progression line rewards, Santa's gift container. Obviously this is the thing that we are going to get in the December, the New Year even, the Santa gift containers. Everything is coming, and it's coming hard and fast. You can see here, you can always check out the rewards. Pretty much I don't see any unique thing whatsoever, except maybe this is the westbound permanent camouflage. Okay, that's pretty much understandable. Uncommon bonuses container, not some. Okay, this is something. Unassigned commander Stig Lundgren with 10 skill points. Sorry if I butchered the name, but yeah, this is the commander that you can assign on any nation on the 20th level of the chapter 1, which is free. This is the free even pass. So you're not going to get the ship, but at least you're going to get the unassigned commander that you can assign to any nation, And then we have the chapter 1, second progression rewards. And you can see here the thing that I was talking about, the Nuremberg 44. You can spend 3,500 doubloons, if I'm not wrong, to get this ship. And obviously at the end, you can also get extra Santa's mega gift container along with other stuff like the Santa's gift container as usual. So this is something that you get on a chapter full 1. First progression and second progression line rewards. And you can see here they have talked about some of the destruction effects. You can also check that emerald snowflakes. This is the newest camouflage that Wargaming has come up with. And then the second chapter, that is the safe harbor. And that is also about the Lanzo, okay? So again, the same thing. We have the chapter 2 free pass rewards. And you can see here we are also going to get the unassigned commander sailor pass with 10 skill points. And that is basically what it is. Eastbound permanent camouflage. Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, these are the things that you're going to get. Not anything particularly special, aura, enemy destruction effect. I think this is the one thing that they are basically showcasing us here. So you can also check that if you want to, that what that thing really looks like. And at the end, you can get the unassigned commander. And then last but not the least, we get the chapter 2, which you have to spend 3,500 doubloons, which obviously gonna give you ultimately the Alonzo and a Santa's mega gift container for your main rewards. And you can see here they come up with, I don't know, another destruction effect, which you can also see. And then we have these new camouflages like the cozy sweater and, well, a couple of extra things like this cat with the Santa, hat and all that stuff. And then we also, by the way, having the new map that is coming up with the name Sunset Isles. So that is something that they are adding it from tier 6 up to 2 super ships. So again, new map. Very nice to see. Finally, we are getting a map, something that I would really be interested in to play the game. And well, this is the features and the visuals of this map itself. Looks pretty nice. At least something that I can appreciate, that at least other than only coming up with tons of premium ships, Wargaming decided to come up at least with this map. So I would be very interested in it, how you can make the ship work in these maps. I can make a tactical sort of video if you want to. You can always let me know in the comments if you want to have some information regarding this new map once it releases in the live servers. And then obviously we have the Roussillon Dockyard, the upcoming tier 9 French battleship that having 9 406mm guns, and what Wargaming is saying that it has high accuracy for a French battleship. Now I would really love to get a really good accuracy. I'm a big fan of Bourgogne. Even though it got power crept over the years, I would like to see a Roussillon doing pretty good. And by the way it looks like, it kind of is like the Alsace hull, but having 406mm guns that you might find on the Champagne. Now, I don't know if it does have insane penetration at like the Champagne at tier 8, because Champagne is a sniper, literally a good sniper that have insane guns, but the Roussillon having 9 guns instead of 6, which kind of makes it good, and also have access to main battery reload booster. So basically, kind of feels like the Champagne on a higher tier, except that you have extra guns and also a good I would say range and all that stuff. Again, once this ship fully comes up in the live servers, I can make a review. I will definitely gonna talk about the Roussillon in my upcoming videos. Obviously, the Dockyard is going to be up on 20 phases. You have to spend 3,000 doubloon for each phase, or you can spend, I would say, 5,000 doubloon minimum to get this Roussillon. And you have to complete all the phases without spending any money. You have to spend on 5,000 doubloons in a starter pack. And then there's another ship that they're not gonna sell. Like, they're gonna be giving us for free, and that is the Montcalm, which you can see here right there. That's gonna give you 45,000 gold if you have already having this ship. So at least something, if you have the ship, you get the gold, and well, at least it's better than nothing. It's better than credit compensation. So you're going to get the Montcalm for free during this whole grind, along with the Roussillon if you spend money. And then we have the biggest, the most important part, the Steel Will event. I will talk about this in detail, so buckle up. We have a lot of information. Now we have the Aki, the hybrid Yamato class battleship. Well, the Bremen, the mains at tier 10, mains you can basically see at tier 8. It has 12 guns, the Bremen has 16 guns, and having, I would say, better torpedoes overall. You can go and check out the stats in the development blog, or maybe you can ask me in the comment what Bremen is. But these are really interesting cruisers, like really solid tier 10 cruisers, and even a battleship like the Aki, a Yamato class hybrid battleship. Then we have the Hawaii, and that cruiser is also very interesting. So these ships, along with the older ships like the Le Havre, the I-5644 and the Valparaiso, they're going to be costing you a massive steel. My goodness, man, this is a lot. Like in the last years, by the way, we used to have 36,000 steel as the biggest price tag. If you go and check out the price of the Chikuma 2 at tier 9, they have sold the Chikuma 2 in a steel wheel event. It only costed 26,000 steel, and now we have 30,000 steel price on Valparaiso and Le Havre. Fortunately enough, the Le Havre is costing 25,000 steel, the Valparaiso costing 30,000 steel. But honestly, if you ask me, everyone will be looking at this ship. This ship is absolute cracked. The most overpowered battleship at tier 9. I can easily rate it to be tier 10. I have made tons of videos on the Valparaiso. This ship is cracked, and I fear that once we bought the ship for steel, Valparaiso, I fear they might nerf it. And I'm just not giving you a wild statement. This ship is so ridiculous. You can go and check out tons of videos on YouTube. If you are not really having the understanding with me and my opinion, you can go and check out the other YouTube and you will see that what I'm saying. It's hell a lot of fun. It's how the brawlers becomes overpowered if you give something like the FK and all that stuff. I can explain that in my older, I have explained that in my older videos, but there it is. Then we have the I-5644. I can make a video. I can make a dedicated video on these ships if you want to. But, well, these are very, very expensive. The funny thing is, or at least the good thing is, not the funny, it's funny because it's so expensive that a 15% coupon is basically gonna bring these steel prices down to 34,000 steel for these ships. Like for almost 5,000 steel discount, okay? So 5,000 discount from say 15% coupon, which by the way they are already asking for a ton of steel. I'm not a big fan of that, but at least these are new ships, but they are very expensive. I mean, it's like 30%, almost 30% expensive compared to the steel ships that we are getting in the armory. Like the normal cost of the steel ship is 31,000. That is 39,000. And the Valparaiso is a tier 10 equivalent price for steel resource. That is crazy. Now you can always let me know in the comment what you think about these prices, but I don't think that is like good. It's a bit too much, man. Honestly, steel is not easy to get, and even if we are getting the steel from the Grand Voyage event, I still believe that it's not really good. But I mean, that is what it is. Wargaming does at its finest. And then we are, by the way, we have the list of camouflages that they have sold for older steel ships, like for example the Stalingrad, the Shikishima, the Plymouth, the Burgoyne, the Roosevelt. These camouflage are also coming back, but this is the biggest and the worst investment that I would say that you can do for your steel. Why? Because they are pricing at 4,000 to 8,000 steel each. A permanent camouflage that does not have any built-in boosters, economic boosters. Only if you want to get the visuals, you can get these camouflages. So if you are a new player, never look at these camouflages, never buy them for steel. That is the worst investment that you can ever do. Instead, you just look for these ships. If you want to get for yourself the most powerful battleship at tier 9 Valparaiso, it's hella lot of fun, but it is broken, and I fear that this ship might get nerfed. Honestly, I don't know where this ship's gonna go in the balance department. But man, I just don't see it to be, not getting nerfed. That's what I fear, okay? If it does not get nerfed in a year, I would be genuinely surprised. I would so much surprised that, I don't know, that would be ridiculous, okay? Then we have Clan Battle Season 32. Oh, here's the thing that really concerns me. Here's the thing, this is very concerning, okay? We have the Clan Battles that for update 14.11, so for one part of the clan battles, which is 1 month, we have 2 months clan battles that run. So for the first month, we're going to play 7 versus 7 tier 9 ships. And funny enough, if you look at the restriction, Delaware, Kearsarge, Black, Venom, Chikuma 2, Halford. Where is Valparaiso? Hello? Where is Valparaiso? Hello? What? A team may have a maximum of 3 from the following list. Valparaiso is there. What is this working? Why do you think? Okay, I can understand the Musashi is also strong, sure. But man, pushing Valparaiso in a very good position, it's unstoppable. It's unstoppable unless you have a crossfire. I don't know. They might be thinking that, okay, in a clan battle situation, we might see players countering Valparaiso because it does have a citadel, vulnerable citadel. So we might see it's not gonna perform as good as some of the other battleships like the Musashi Georgia, for example. I don't know where it's gonna go. I just don't like it because this kind of incentivizes at least all the lower clan sort of players, like for example the Squall League or the Gear League. They will be incentivized to buy Valparaiso like this because this is the way that I can think of. So they will say, oh, we don't have Valparaiso, oh, we might as well get that 30,000 steel costing Valparaiso because we have to be competitive enough. So this is another indirect incentivizing that you got by the Valparaiso, and this is what I fear most. Okay, and this is what happens in the financial markets. If everyone gets into the FOMO, if everyone goes to buy something, it will be sold by the large big whales investors and basically gonna say fuck you. Seriously, I'm not gonna lie. And they will just gonna ruin everyone that just goes into the FOMO. So if you get into the Valparaiso, I won't be surprised that it gets nerfed in a year. Okay, so this is a very big disclaimer that I'm about to give about this ship. Even though it's very brokenly overpowered, I don't know for how long. Okay, how long it will stay in this state. This is very something that I'm concerned about. And then we're also going to have, for one update, 7 versus 7 tier 10 ships, and that is something which is pretty typical. The Colombo, Wisconsin, Brisbane, they can bring one, and then we have the banned ships like for example the hybrids like Hildebrand, Commissar, and Smallland, typical ships. And then finally, last but not the least, we have the tier 9, tier 10 as well as super ships that will going to have a permanent camouflage available in the armory for research points. So you have to spend research points for getting these permanent camouflage, which again is the biggest new bait. Do not spend your hard-earned research points on any of these camouflages when you can buy a fucking ship. Please. This is not something that I expected. Yes, for coal, maybe if you have a ton of coal stacked in your wallet, burning the hole in your wallet, sure, go for it. But this is not good. This is a bait. This is a bait that, okay, I get the point. If you're so obsessed with this camouflage, you might as well buy it. But otherwise, if you don't buy a ship, right, it's going to take a lot of time to get that ship again. That is the thing. So if you buy the camouflage, it will take more time to get the ship that you want later from the research points. So same goes for the steel will event, right, where they are selling the camouflages for Stalingrad, Burgon, etc, etc. So this is the recent development block. I think I have covered everything what is coming in this whole thing. And by the way, I'm going to make another video. I'm sorry guys, I just didn't able to make video on time giving you all the information, but here it is. This is my first video. You can check out all the details by looking at the development block, and let's go and get to the other development block which I have to cover today. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you get all the information related to this thing. You can let me know in the comment, what do you think about this whole thing? I think that Wargaming is playing a very, I would say, a game that it's not easy to understand right now, but I'm sure once we have some time covered, you will soon see that, well, about the Valparaiso especially, and also about the cost of the steel wheel even ships. That is definitely something sketchy. And I mean, the investment that you have gotten by playing the game and getting from all that Grand Voyage even steel, well, they kind of have absorbed quite a lot of that. They absorb that Grand Voyage even reward in the form of you spending 9,000 steel extra, like 9,000 steel extra for the steel wheel even ship. So I mean, you can see what I'm saying, and it's not easy to get every day the steel from the Grand Voyage, which you have to like play all the time till the December to get all that 32,000 steel. But again, that is what Wargaming is cooking. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I will catch you next time. Peace out.